over 6 threes. And here comes Kevin Jenkins. And Kevin Jenkins, one of these young men whose record does him scant justice. Having fight number 14 tonight, well, you can see for yourselves that of his previous 13, he's won only 3. But he's been in with some very, very good opponents, the likes of Danny Porter, Joe Kelly, and he has beaten James Bulldog Drummond, who challenges Robbie Regan for the British flyweight title in Cardiff a fortnight tonight. Opponent tonight is Noel Carroll of Manchester. Oh, Noel Carroll on a roll. He's won his last 7 in a row, all on points, and as you can see from the proportion of stoppage wins, not the world's hardest puncher. Could be a man that Kevin Jenkins might fancy his chances against. No doubting his allegiance, Barry.
Yeah, he's come out in the Irish green, I can tell you. The last time I saw young Kevin Jenkins, he was very unlucky. He was in against the young flyweight Danny Porter from Hitchin, and he put up a hell of a fight.
Championship boxing promoted by Matchroom in association with St Andrews Sporting Club Glasgow and sponsored by the Daily Mirror and the Sunday Mirror newspapers. All your officials are appointed by the British Boxing Board of Control, and a special welcome goes to all our viewers on Screen Sport in the United Kingdom, Sport Canal in Germany and Austria, Sportnet in Holland and Belgium, and TV Sport in France and Switzerland. Ladies and gentlemen, the opening contest is a bantamweight contest at 8 stone 8 pounds over 7 3-minute rounds. Introducing in the red corner with the blue shorts from Wales, Kevin Jenkins. And here's
another Irish
in the blue
name.
corner with the green and white shorts from Manchester, Noel Carroll. And the weigh-in today, Jenkins scaled at 8 stone 3 3/4 pounds, Carroll 8 stone 7 1/4 pounds. Your referee for the opening contest, Mickey Van of Leeds.
Well, Carroll's got a weight advantage of a good 4 pounds.
Yeah, and Carroll has even gone to the length of having a green gum shield. Remarkable. I don't think I've ever seen a green gum shield before.
I don't think I want to see one. Mickey Van is the referee for this opening contest. Mickey Van of Leeds. And as I said, this is scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. Carroll in the green and Jenkins in blue.
Second round, round 1.
Okay, the first thing that I can see right away is that Carroll is a much stronger. Look at the physique in comparison to Jenkins. He's very solid looking around the back, and he looks a bigger guy, a much more solidly built fighter. I haven't seen him before, but just looking at him, that was actually he tripped over his lead foot there. It wasn't a legitimate knockdown. It looks to be a distinct difference in size. What were the weights again, Dave? I think there was about 3 or 4 pounds of a advantage on Carroll's behalf.
Well, 4 pounds when you're talking this particular weight division is a lot.
Yeah, well, that separates the divisions really. There's no more than 4 pounds between each of the lighter weight divisions nowadays.
Carroll having a very good opening round.
Yeah.
But as we've seen in the past, Jenkins is tough as they come, really.
Certainly is a tough little kilt. Against Porter, he was very unlucky. He had Porter in trouble at one stage, and I hadn't seen Porter hurt before. And Jenkins did hurt him, but I mean, Carroll is just pummeling him at the moment. He's landing the better punches, but oh, he's hitting him some beautiful shots right above my head here to the body, doubling them up. But Jenkins is a tough nut, throws some good shots. The heads are banging together there. You can see that green gum shield.
Well, at the moment, Carroll is simply just walking through anything that Jenkins is trying to throw at him.
Yeah, he's what they call in America he's bulldogging him. He's just staying right on top of him. Jenkins is coming back there, picking the shots a bit better, but
he's got to get off the ropes for starters.
He's taking twice as much as he's actually dishing it. Oh, beautiful body shot from Kevin Jenkins. Hit that 4-inch square in the short rib. Really hurt him now with that body shot. But Carroll's coming back. Oh yes, again.
Yes, he's got him again.
Target area again. That's a beautiful little punch, and it didn't have to be that hard. You hit the target right. Jenkins, that is a tough kid. Really was taking a lot of stick there and just dished out one of those neat little hooks to the body. Beautiful little right hook underneath Carroll's right lead. But Carroll's coming back again.
Yeah, Jenkins taking quite a few of the shots on the gloves.
He's also eating plenty of leather at the moment. He's taking quite a bit of punishment. His face looks a bit marked up and he looks a bit shaken, but he picked that shot very well to the body.
Jenkins knows the route now. He's got to work downstairs, but you've got to get that opening round of Carroll.
No, more a big round for Carroll. But he did hurt him, Dave. He hurt him with that body shot.
Yeah, he certainly did.
And both times he hit him in the floating rib, the short ribs. Not that area you can't protect. You can build up your solar plexus and they can be like rock hard. But once you hit that short floating rib, it just takes the wind out of your sails completely.
There's Noel Carroll, one of Jack Trickett's boys, Kevin Jenkins from Ammanford, just 21 years of age. And the James Drummond victory, it happened in his second pro fight. I have to say, in fairness, that Drummond reversed that with a stoppage in a rematch. But the fact, he has shown that he can beat a man of Drummond's calibre. And as Barry says, he's been in with the likes of Danny Porter and Joe Kelly and given them both very, very hard fights. And of course, we saw on Pro Box last year an epic contest with him against Robbie Regan. Well, second round, Carroll green, Jenkins blue.
Look at how close Carroll is getting up on top of Jenkins, because he was hit with that little short body shot, and he's protecting himself even more than he did in the first round.
Yeah, he's trying to tuck the elbows in.
Closing those elbows into his side, keeping it nice and tight. But Jenkins is still able to pierce that guard and hit that short rib. He's really banging it. And good body shots now from Noel Carroll. This is all inside work. It's good to see it because you don't see enough of it in British rings, in fighting. Too much of this holding on the inside. And these guys, there's no holding here at all. They're picking the shots well, and it's a good little fight on the inside. Good shots there from Carroll. Really sunk them into Jenkins' head. You watch, he's taking most of those shots to the head, certainly on the glove. But Jenkins is switching downstairs now again. Again, Carroll's using his weight, using his power, pushing him back against the ropes, leaning on top of him, banging him really solid.
Yeah, the individual shots in themselves are not particularly damaging, but the cumulative effect, you get the feeling that they are going to wear Kevin Jenkins out before too long. The Welshman coming back with just single shots of his own. He needs to be throwing far more leather, but he's just being forced to cover up all the time. Tagged again.
He's a tough kid, Jenkins, I tell you. He's taken a lot of stick in the first two rounds. Yeah, and he comes back all the time. Oh, good shots from Carroll again.
Oh, that's a good shot. The right hand to the body from Jenkins. But he's got to throw many, many more.
He's got to find that area again to the body. That's the only one he hurt him with, and he looked a bit shaken there. He definitely dipped at the knees. relaxing little fight. There's been lots of punches thrown in the first 2 rounds. This is really good stuff.
And you wonder whether Carroll might have pinned everything on an early finish. But he's working. He has not stopped throwing punches from the opening bell.
Two brilliant little rounds. Very entertaining little 6-rounder. Another all-action round. Some great combinations from Carroll there. He definitely was on top on this round. At no stage did Jenkins actually hurt him. Just pummeled him, stayed on top of him, used that strength and bulldogged him, put his head on his chest and just whacked away. Good tactics, and they'll pay dividends if he keeps it up. Slowly wearing Jenkins down.
Bonus 10 seconds.
Well, there's the Jenkins corner, and looks pretty good considering the stick he's been taking the first couple of sessions.
Round 3.
Round 3 then, live at the Preston Guildhall, this opening bantamweight contest. Noel Carroll from Manchester, he's in green. Kevin Jenkins from Ammanford in South Wales in blue. Here we go again.
Yeah, just right back to square one again on the ropes. Carroll just picking away and landing the cleaner punches, heavier punches of the two. This is a very good little fight. What Jenkins has got to do, he's got to try and keep him, get him off him a bit, give himself a bit more room to punch, because Carroll seems to be able to hit better on the inside. He's certainly more powerfully built and is able to punch more powerfully at a shorter distance. But you know, funny enough, it was Jenkins who done the most damage with that tiny little right hook to the or left hook to the body in the last the round before the first round. A beautiful little left hook to the body, and it really hurt Carroll. But Carroll has been just slowly wearing him down with those heavy attacks.
Well, although these two boys are about the same height, which is about 5'2", Jenkins has got a good couple of inches reach advantage, which is why Carroll is all over him like a rash at the moment. Doesn't want to give him the opportunity to get that jab working. He's got quite a decent jab as Kevin Jenkins.
Yeah. Well, he worked his tactics out before he's got in here. Carroll knows he's got to stay on him, just put his head on his chest and let them go. But Jenkins,
Right hand knockdown.
beautiful right hand, right on the button.
Up at 2.
This kid Jenkins is amazing. He hit him with a good shot, and he did hurt him, but he didn't hurt him that badly. Carroll's holding on the inside and trying to get a bit of space, but if Jenkins actually picks his shots better here now, he has a real chance. And those body shots, you know, he really is picking the shots very well. He really absorbs the punch very well, young Kevin Jenkins, and he's taken a lot of stick in the first couple of rounds, and he's come back well here. Good shot. Carroll is still hurt. He's not anxious to get involved at the moment. He wants to stay outside and get those cobwebs to shake the old cobwebs out of his head at the moment. He's still a bit shaken. But he's boxing well on the outside too. That's nice.
Right.
It's a hell of a match this.
Right.
Good round. We will take a short break. We'll have more live action from the Guildhall in Preston. More of this fascinating opening bout in just a moment. Welcome back, round 4. That was Jenkins round the last round, so he's closed the gap a little bit. And if he can weather this storm of Carroll's, which is, I don't know, showing increasing signs of perhaps being able to
Lay on him, Carroll.
Well, his tactics have been the same, and you know, there hasn't been any great variation in what he's done. He's had to box a bit in the end of the last round, but he's basically done the same thing since the opening bell, and he hasn't been able to hurt Jenkins. He's hit him with all sorts of punches, but he hasn't really been able to shake him up. He's marked his face, but I'm sure he's dampened his spirits, but he hasn't been able to really hurt him the way Jenkins has been hurting him.
Well, neither of these boys is renowned as anything like a big hitter, but as we've seen, the more damaging shots have come from Kevin Jenkins, who's never stopped anybody in his pro career. His 3 wins have all come on points.
He's picking his shots well, Jenkins. He's finding that spot again. And he's shown his experience. He's able to push him off, to step around him, and picking those shots up the middle and all. And it looks really impressive because he's taken a lot of stick in the early rounds.
Remember, Carroll has won his last 7. And was a warm water favourite to make it number 8 tonight.
Now on the inside, Jenkins has been equally as good. He's just slipping around him. There's 3 good head shots.
Once again, Jenkins having another good round. And for all the leather that Carroll's throwing, an awful lot of it is getting blocked. And the shots that are getting through are coming from Jenkins. And just look at Carroll's face now, it's bleeding from the nose, and that shows you. But Jenkins' shots are getting through. Jenkins still unmarked.
There's no blood on him, but he's certainly marked. His eyes are a bit marked. And, another stick. But Jenkins came back in that round, or Carroll came back in that round. But another close round again. It was just nip and tuck the whole way. Certainly in the early rounds, Carroll was well on top. And then, of course, he was hurt in the 3rd. But it's come back well in the 4th. And interesting to see how the next 2 rounds goes.
Yeah, I'd still have it. I don't know. I'd still have it pretty level. I suppose on the amount of punches, you could argue a case for Carroll being in front. But for my money, the cleaner shots are coming from Kevin Jenkins.
Certainly in the last 2 rounds, Dave, that's been the case. Cleaner punches have come from Kevin Jenkins, and certainly the more intelligent punches. He's thinking about what he's doing. Carroll's just keeping on doing the same thing, just wearing him down, trying to wear him down, staying in close, keeping the distance between the 2 fighters very short so that he can be more effective. But Jenkins has opened up the distance every now and again and really whacked in those shots.
Van saying, what's ahead to Noel Carroll? Perhaps a little overdue, that warning. Jenkins is growing in confidence as this fight progresses, and once again he hurts Carroll.
Yeah, Carroll dipped at the knees there from a really good left hook. See how square on Carroll is.
He's looking a bit of a mess, Carroll, now. He's got some facial damage.
Puts you in a position, being square on puts you in a position to be able to throw a lot of punches in the inside, but it also leaves you off balance, and when you hit with a good shot you can tip over very easily.
bit of the sting seems to have gone out of Noel Carroll now.
He's still throwing plenty of good clusters.
Yeah, he is though.
This is a really excellent little fight, I tell you. It's been an excellent match. I would have thought at the beginning that Carroll would have worn him down by now, but Jenkins has proved to be really tough. Good body shots from Jenkins. Picking his shots, despite the fact that he's really tired, he's picking his shots well. Of course, Carroll coming roaring back with nice little tidy combinations to the head. Working non-stop like a little dynamo. Jenkins is actually turning him around there. It's really intelligent little work on the inside. He's keeping his hands up, rolling his head, hands up tight, picking his shots to the head, onto the body, switching around, banging the right side, then banging the left side and bringing one chopping up the middle. And back comes Carroll and Jenkins again. This is really, I'd like to know how many punches these guys have thrown already.
Well, one interesting thing has raised itself, and that is the fact that we are now told this is not a 6-round fight, and it's not an 8-round fight, it's a 7-round fight. And the reason for this is that Noel Carroll was originally booked for a 10-rounder, and a suitable opponent couldn't be found. Kevin Jenkins wanted to fight 6, Carroll said we'll fight 8, and allegedly they have compromised and are fighting a 7-round fight, and that's a pro box first.
Well, it's a pro box first, not a first for me. Same thing happened on a bill with myself in the Ulster Hall about 10 years ago. It was a fellow called Terry Crystal was fighting a guy called Mick Mills, and the same thing. One wanted to fight 6, the other wanted to fight 8, and they decided to fight over 7 rounds.
Oh, the famous Crystal brothers.
That's it.
From Trinity Dublin, weren't they?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, they were good heavyweight. That was Jeff, wasn't it?
No,
Jeff?
it was Mel and Terry and. Can't think of the other guy's name.
Was it
Joe?
Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mel and Joe were both heavyweights. Terry was a middleweight.
Here comes Carroll. Yeah, they're all Trinity men. They breed them tough, Trinity men. Will you?
Jenkins taking over now. Maybe he's got a bit more stamina. Oh, sorry, Carroll has taken over now. Has he got a bit more stamina than Jenkins? Certainly a bit more
think
weight. He's just boxing a bit cuter in this round.
It's getting to the point now where fitness is going to play an awful strong part.
There's 2 rounds to go, and it really is it's an open fight at the moment. It's, in my opinion, dead even. Just all in the last 2 rounds. Carroll, you would have thought Carroll would have used his jab a bit more, so when he did have to box in the 3rd round, he did look more sharp of the 2. And on the inside, although he's been strong and bowling forward, he hasn't been so effective in the last few rounds.
Midway through, the last round but 1. And Carroll in this round is establishing or re-establishing his superiority that we saw in the 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, he's starting to outbox Jenkins, but Jenkins is so good on the inside. He's fallen into the trap again, of course. He's coming forward and pushing Jenkins back to the ropes, and all Jenkins has got to do is land one of those tiny little tough left hooks in underneath the short rib, and could be it all over at this stage, because he really did hurt Carroll early on.
Good left.
this is where that extra £4 can make a difference.
Yes, absolutely right. And when you've spent the last 5.5 rounds or 6 rounds now trying to keep Carroll off, as Jenkins has, that wears you down. And he's looking a little bit tired now, the Welsh boy. We're with Noel Carroll. Back with Jenkins. He could yet pull it out of the fire, but he needs a very, very big last round. He needs another knockdown like he had in the third.
I would agree with you, Dave. I think Carroll has that was the best solid left that he'd landed all day. Beautiful, right down the pipe, and it shook Jenkins, and Jenkins is really tired at this stage. Round to go, and it'll be interesting to see, can these guys remember when the bell's over to walk to the referee. 7 rounds around.
Seconds up. 7th and final round.
Now, let me say at this point, this contest has been fought in the most excellent spirit. Frequent high fives with the gloves at the end of the round. Mickey Van has had very little to do. One warning to Noel Carroll for dangerous use of the head, and that's about it.
It's been a really entertaining fight. They fought on the inside, tooth and nail all the way. It's been a really excellent fight. I love the way they've been able to work on the inside and roll and bob and weave and throw the punches up and down and switch positions, and it's been very good indeed. Very even fight.
Come on, Noel. Fight! Right on your toe. Step back.
Really good left hand from Carroll.
Left Noel, that's the one. Come on. Get down, Carroll. Get down. Get down, Carroll.
We're roughly midway through the 7th and final round now, and it's the strength of Carroll that is really starting to prove decisive now.
Carroll would actually do better if he actually got outside and started using that jab, because he's been far more sharper with his jab, and then going in and unloading with about 4 or 5 combinations and back out again. 4 and 5 punch combinations, getting back on his jab again, but he's staying on the inside, and this is where Jenkins has just as been effective as he has. But you can see Carroll slowly wearing Jenkins down. He's just chopping away at him here. Bind that body hard.
Last minute.
Jenkins is rolling his head, keeping his head moving. If he takes one in the combination, he doesn't take the other one or the other two. Oh, good body shot from Noel Carroll. Tell you what, these guys are giving everything, haven't they, Dave?
An excellent show opener, really has been. Well, it very much looks like being Carroll's 8th successive win, and once again of so near but so far for Kevin Jenkins, because he is getting beaten in this fight, and Carroll has won.
It's a fantastic little contest. What a great fight.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, a great opening contest. Your appreciation for both boxers.
a great opening contest indeed.
Noel Carroll, a tremendous contest.
Rousing cheers from this good crowd at the Guildhall. I make it 69-68, 2-round margin at the finish. I wonder how Mickey Van saw it. Alan Hughes will tell us right now.
Your referee, Mickey Van, scores the contest. 68 points to Kevin Jenkins, 69.5 to Noel Carroll.
Well, a
Noel
three-round
Carroll
margin
is
in
the
the end.
winner.
69.5 points to 68.
Ladies and gentlemen, your appreciation, please. for
Maybe
very
a little
good
bit
loser,
unkind on
Henry
Jenkins, but no doubting, absolutely the right man won. Great fight.
And as they leave the ring, once again, your appreciation then for both
Well,
of these
follow that,
champions.
as they
Thank you
say.
very much indeed.
We will do our best. Next up, Glenn Campbell against Ian Henry. That's coming your way next, live and exclusive on ProBox from Preston.